Okay, it's on.
Okay, we're starting. We said that a woman that sees dam, so she's metamel mafreya. The tumah goes backwards, retroactive. However, if the person is, if the woman is mishameshes beidim, when she's together with her husband, she uses an aid. The term aid means a cloth, an examination cloth. She uses an examination cloth to make sure that she's pure. Before and after she's together with her husband, so that would diminish the amount of time that she would be metama retroactively. Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Shmuel. Rabbi Yehuda says the name of Shmuel. We're dealing with first and second generation Amirayim, which is very typical. For right after quoting a Mishnah, that first and second generation Amirayim should come in and explain what exactly the Mishnah is referring to. The Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Shmuel, H lifnei tashmish enim amayit ketzida. The cloth, the examination cloth before she's together with her husband doesn't really help. He qualifies this that it's not 100%. It's only the one afterwards that's going to work. Only the examination after she's together with us. My time, what's the reason? Amar Rav Katina. Rav Katina says, I'm not sure if he's on the chart. The one beforehand, she's rushing to be together with her husband. So it's not going to, well, let's see why. So what? So what? She does an examination, and if it's clean, she's clean. Why is it going to be metamel mafreya? So the Gemara answers, she has to examine herself properly. She has to use a cloth to go inside in that area and to go in crevices that are there. If she's rushing, she's not going to do it properly. So that's why it only counts afterwards. That's what Rabbi Yehuda Amar Shmuel says. Tanan was taught in the Mishnah, that it works backwards, and it's considered like a examination, and the tumah does not go past that retroactively. My love says she's together with her husband, and she uses eidim. Eidim is plural. So my love, is it not? There must be an examination before and examination after. The Mishnah must be telling you that the one beforehand works. It's a kasha and Rabbi Yehuda Amar Shmuel. Where says loy? Really, yes, it's plural, but it's after she's together with her husband. One is his examination. He also has to examine himself to make sure that he's clean afterwards.
What does that mean that there's witness?
It doesn't really mean witness. It means a cloth that's used, an examination cloth. It's another term for Kidditanan, as it was taught in the Mishnah. Derech B'nais Yisrael. That's a good question, because witness would be ridiculous. Yeah. Derech B'nais Yisrael Meshamshus B'shnei Eidim. It's the way of B'nais Yisrael, the Jewish women, to use two cloths. Echad la v'echad la. One for him and one for her. Now I have to clarify. If he's together with her and he examines himself and he's not tamei, it's not going to affect tumas mafreya. You say, you see, he examined himself. Must be that she's pure from that time and on. She should not be metamel mafreya. It's clear that clearly can't be, because just because he's clean doesn't mean that she's clean. So it's just telling me that there is another examination that's taking place, but the only one that's really going to work for everything that we need is her examination. Yes, if he's tamei, she's tamei, but if he's tahar, it doesn't mean she's tahar.
Just on Eidim, maybe just like Hashem says, Shamayim Ba'aretz or Eidim, the only other thing there is the cost that will be made of what actually was okay or not okay. So the term Eidim is not a bad adjective for.
Do you mean material?
Yeah.
No, not material. Why does Hashem say to Shamayim Ba'aretz or Eidim?
Okay.
Right? Because who else was there?
Oh.
So who else was there here? Nobody, but the cloths were there.
Okay.
So, question. She examines herself before with the first aid, and it's clean.
Doesn't help.
Huh?
Doesn't help. In the Geya, if she sees dam, it doesn't say, we see that she was clean before, and it doesn't work back retroactively. So far.
It doesn't become Tahar Lamafreya, it becomes Tamar Lamafreya.
Yeah, it's going to work backwards. No, the first one's not going to work. Let's say she sees Dam right afterwards, before she does her second examination. So she's going to be Tameh even prior to the first examination.
What's the logic?
She didn't do it properly. She didn't do the examination properly. Your question is, if it's not done properly and it doesn't work, so why are they doing it?
Yeah.
That's the question. And the Varshim say...
It's probably to prevent you from being together if at the time of the first one you already know that it's not.
Yeah, if it's not. But the Varshim say that first of all, this is only for Taurus. It's only a woman that's like, so Taurus needs to be careful at all times, even just for her husband. It's not talking about a regular situation. But the Mefarshim say that we have to do it this way. We have to do it the best way. That it's impossible any other way. So this is what we do. It's a problematic.
But isn't it to be
philosophically? It's a problem.
Why? But isn't it kind of just simply be that she's damned to begin with, and she would be Pirish?
Right. Okay.
So then you won't need a second because you come down on it.
Right. No, I wanted the philosophical problem of if God created the world, it looked at the Torah, created the world, like everything has to match up perfectly. So how could it be that there's one halacha that doesn't mamish fit with reality? So, okay. The Gemara says 1 second. Haimai. Haimai is like a rejection of. Haimai means like this. What? Well, like what's going on here? It would be well if you said chalifnei tashmish v'chad lachet tashmish, that the two examinations, one's before they're together and one's after they're together. Then it's important for us to say this, that there's two. Why? Sal kedai tachamina could enter your mind to say mitochim olam beisal loy badka shaper, because she's rushing to be together with her husband, so she's not doing the proper examination. Kamash Malana comes to teach us. No, it is a good examination. But if both of them are afterwards, so pshita, it's obvious that it's going to work. So it's a regular examination. So why do we even need a Mishnah to say that this examination works like an examination? It's a regular examination. There's no chiddush there. The whole chiddush would have been the one beforehand. So the Gemara answers, maybe there was the tiniest drop of blood, but she can't find it. Why? Because she was together with her husband, and the seminal fluids are covering it over, so she can't. She doesn't see it. There's a chiddush even afterwards as well. Kamash Malan, that's the chiddush for afterwards. Okay. Another teretz. It's not coming to tell me which bedikas work for tumas mafreya, for tumah going backwards. It's telling me a different halacha. It's telling me that she needs two bedikas, not for tumah, but to be together with her husband. She needs one before and afterwards. It's another halacha that it's telling me. And what is it telling me? Chad lifnei tashmish v'chad lachet tashmish. She has to examine before she's together with her husband and afterwards. And it's when the Mishnah says that this is considered like a examination, that's only going over afterwards. The Gemara says, 1 second, you're trying to tell me that she's obligated to examine herself, to do these extra examinations? That's the chiddush of the Mishnah, and the fact that the examination works, that the impurity doesn't go back retroactively. There's no chiddush at all. It's only referring to the one afterwards. It says Vaha Hamish Hameshes Tani. It doesn't say that she has to. It says Hamish Hameshes, someone that does. Hamish Hameshes means someone that does. It doesn't say that she's obligated to. Katani, Hamish Hameshes Katani. The Gemara answers Tani Umish Hameshes. Teach it as Umish Hameshes, which means she has to. There's the Hamish Hameshes, Umish Hameshes. Okay, we said that the examinations from before and after she's together with her husband reduces the amount of impurity from 24 hours to that examination. And it also says that it reduces the time of retroactive impurity also from the last examination as well. So both 24 hours it will reduce it, and also reduce it off the last examination if there was an examination within 24 hours. Well, even this examination that she has when she's together with her husband will also reduce it again. So let's say, for example, she sees blood 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So really she should be tamei on Tuesday. Really she should be tamei from 3 o'clock on Monday. But she did an examination at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So that examination reduces from minimizes the time from 3 o'clock. Now she's only tamei from 6 o'clock. But she's together with her husband at 12 o'clock at night, a.m. 12 a.m. she's together with her husband. So that will reduce it off the 24 hours, it will minimize that time. She'll only be tamei back to 12 a.m. If there was any taras that she touched in the middle, it's irrelevant. The Gemara asks, what's the problem?
I'm just not following the logic of this whole discussion.
When she finds blood...
Because we only are making all these logical assumptions. They're only necessary in the absence of actual physical proof of something.
Right.
And so I was okay up until that point, but your example, I just didn't...
So let's say like this. The Chachamim established that she's going to be tamei 24 hours.
Right.
That you're okay with.
Right.
If she does an examination, if she had done
So
an
that's
examination
subsequent,
18
she does an
hours.
examination before the 24 hours is expired, is the example,
No,
right?
I don't mean
Maybe I didn't
expire.
understand.
Well, 24 hours backwards. Let's do it like this. She did an examination 18 hours before she actually found the blood.
Okay.
So instead of becoming tamei 24 hours, she's only tamei now 18 hours back, which makes a difference. Then, if she had relations 15 hours before, and with examination plus, so that examination will also reduce it again. That's what.
Those are the good alibis. So reduce the...
Hashta me'esleis memetes. If it reduces the longer time, 24 hours. If kidul mi bais, so does the Mishnah really have to tell me that it will reduce from the last examination as well? The Gemara says no. 1 second. I could have thought the opposite. 24 hours is a long time. Rabbis didn't want that all of the grain that she was involved with should be tamei and not be able to be used. So they weren't so strict. So they said that such an examination, even though it's not perfect, it has a problem this way, it has a problem that way, will diminish that tumah. However, but if she was just a few hours ago that she did a real examination, now she did this examination, we'll say that maybe it's not enough taharas that the rabbis should say that this is going to really be effective. 24 hours was enough that it should make it worthwhile to use this. We shouldn't destroy so much grain that she touched because she became impure. This is a small thing. So Kamash Malan that no, even the small amount it still works. Ketzadaya Shaita. What does it mean that she's only tamei from the time she finds it and onward? We said certain cases she's only tamei from the time she finds it and onward. The Gemara says, so the Mishnah goes on and says, if she's sitting on a bed, and she's touching grain, pure grain or whatever it is. Parsha, the Mishnah said she lets go. She goes off the bed or whatever, and she sees blood. So then she's tamei, but everything else is tamei. That's what the Mishnah says. The Gemara asks. See, the Gemara does to the Mishnah what the Gemara does to the Psukim. But it says, why do you need to say that? Why do you need to say that? Why does it have to say this? It darshans each word. So it says, Lamali lamisna hisi sheves b'mita. Why does it need to say that she's sitting on a bed? Basukah b'taras. So that's not the main point. Why does it say that she's on the bed or Sukkah B'taris listening? I say Sukkah B'taris. Why does it have to say where she's sitting? What's the difference? Even if she's standing, what's the difference? Uparsha Varasa, and she's let go, and she sees dam. So what's the main point? Is that she's tamei and everything else isn't, because she let go before she found it. She's only tamei from then on, not retroactive. Gemara says Hakamash Mala, and it's coming to teach us Taima the Daya Shaita. What's the reason why the bed is tahar? Because she's not tamei retroactive. Meis lies. But let's say this was a case where she is tamei retroactive, then what would be the din of the bed? Mitanami mitame. Then the bed would also be tamei. A big deal that the bed is tamei. What the Gemara here means to say is that there's a special tumah that applies to tumah hayotzi migufay, any person that's tamei, that the tumah came out of his body, whether it's a nida or a zav or a zava or yeledes. It's machlekes if it applies to mitzvah as well. But any sort of that body sort of tumah, it has a special halacha. It's called mishka v'moisha. Normally, tumah goes down levels. With each thing that it touches, it gets one level less. At a certain point, it can't make anything else impure. The way it works with Mishka V'Maisha, there's things that are sat on by a person that has this tumah. So there's two halachas that apply. First of all, the person actually becomes the bed or chair or couch becomes tamei enough that it can contaminate a person that touches it. So it's normally, let's say the person would be an avatuma. The yeledes or the nida is an avatuma. She touches a bed, and becomes a rishon matama. A rishon cannot make a person tamei. In this case, because it's tumas mishka v'maisha, she touches the bed. The bed has a special halacha that the bed makes the person tamei as well. Normally, a bed would be a rishon. A rishon can only make food tamei. Here we're saying that the rishon can make a person tamei as well. Okay, so that's one chumrah of mishka v'maisha. There's one more chumrah, and that is that not only does it make the person tamei, but the clothing that the person is wearing also becomes tamei. It's called tumas chiburim. That the clothing that he's wearing, even though the clothing didn't actually touch the bed, but the clothing also becomes tamei.
So it's like the tune's going up now instead of down.
Well,
if the bed can make the person tamei.
Yeah, it's like
Right?
it takes the status of the person, the tamei person himself or herself. Okay, so what's our point? That we have tumah, she sees down. So she's tamei, so the bed that she sits on is going to have all those halachas, no problem. But we have an extra chumrah here. So not only is she tamei, but she's tamei l'mafreya. She's tamei retroactively. It goes back 24 hours. So do we apply those chumrahs, that retroactive tumah, that extra chumrah, to have all of these halachas of mishka v'maisha? So there's a big chiddush here. Haisi yesheves b'mita, she's on a bed, and she's really daya shaita, she's not tamei l'mafreya, she's only tamei from then and on. Why does it have to say she's on a bed? Because if she wasn't daya shaita, then that bed retroactively, that bed would have all the chumras of mishka v'maisha retroactively as well, which is huge chumras. Would go back, the 24 hours, anyone that touched that bed would also be tamei, and the clothing would be tamei, and the food it has the extra chumras of mishka v'maisha.
Why should the bed go l'mafreya? I mean, the bed, had the woman not been in the picture, the bed would have not been any different the last 24 hours.
She sat on the bed
Now,
before she found out that she was tamei. That bed
so
is part of the retroactive tumah.
And the woman not been in the picture, this whole Gemara would be back.
That's what I'm saying. If she didn't sit on the bed until that moment, which is now,
Right.
that bed was never tamei. So how can you go now and say, we already have an established fact, that bed was not tamei for the last 23 hours and 59 minutes. Whereas the woman, we have the question on. And therefore, because of the question on the woman, we go and we make her,
So
how can you do it on the bed?
Why are you asking it here? Why aren't you asking it about all the grain that she touched within the last 24 hours?
Because this is the first time she's on the bed. I mean,
No, she was on the bed. She had this long nap for the last 23 and a half hours.
It's not like she just sat on the bed, now she sees,
She sat on the bed for who knows how long. Then she gets off the bed and she finds out that she's tummy. You say all of that time, 24 hours, which includes sitting on the bed, is all tummy. But not only is it tummy, but it has all the chumras of Mishka v'Moshe, which is the big deal now with the Chiddush.
Is this a rabbinical tumor?
The Me'es Leis is rabbinic, but Mishka v'Moshe is not.
That's derisive.
Well, at least it's learned from Psukim. Okay. The Gemara now says, Messiah Leila Ze'iri. This is a proof to Ze'iri. Ze'iri.
Isn't the tumor of the bed suffix?
It's all suffix now. Yeah.
Right,
All
so-
Me'es Leis is really
if it's a
suffix.
suffix, then it really should not pass on the hummus.
Right.
And that's
Follow
usually how
them.
we
Because
go.
Suffolk things like Kula.
No, when there's a suffix, we say, okay, so we'll make this tummy, but we don't give it the hummus. That's
Right.
usually how we decide.
Right. That's the Chiddush. That's the Chiddush. Because the whole thing is only a suffix. But you're saying, but so what? Because if it's deraisa. Okay. So this is a proof to Ze'iri. Ze'iri, I don't know if he's on the chart, but he's a contemporary of Rav. It would be like big and small. Rav is big and Ze'iri is small. I don't know if there's characters like that in the... Okay. So the Amar Ze'iri has taught. Ze'iri said, Meisle Shabanida, the 24 hours that go back of Nidda. They give off that tumah, make the bed tameh to contaminate the clothing of the person that's wearing it. Gemara says michti. Where's the question? Very interesting question. Whenever we have a doubt, we say it depends if it's Rosh Hashanah or Rosh Hashanah. Right? A doubt in Tumah. Rosh Hashanah is Tameh, Rosh Hashanah is Tahor. When do we say Rosh Hashanah is Tameh? That's only if it's involving a person. If there's a person that's becoming Tameh. So, why? Because we learned from Saita. Saita is a person. What do we call that? Davar sheish b'das lishal. Something that you can ask and get an answer. We can ask, we can question, and find out the answer. Now over here, Mechti, Hai Mita Davar Shem B'das Lishal. This bed is a Davar Shem B'das Lishal. You can't ask the bed what happened. So V'chol Davar Shem B'das Lishal Svei Ketar. And the whole Tumas Meis Leis is all a suffix. The whole retroactive Tumah is all a doubt. So why are we taking it? Why are we taking this tumah back at 24 hours? You can't ask the bed; it should be taught. Gemara says, "Tirgum Ze'iri." Ze'iri explains, very interesting teretz. We're talking about a woman that's being carried. You know, like in China, they get the taxis; they carry them around in the
rickshaw.
What is it?
Rickshaw?
Yeah, rickshaw. Like they carry the Isaac in the pictures. They're carrying her. If they're carrying her, so it's becoming tamei. The bed is becoming tamei, but it's being carried by humans. And if there's a human there that's involved, so then it's considered davar sheyesh b'das yishal. Even though we're not concerned with the humans becoming tamei, we're concerned with the bed becoming tamei right now. But because the bed is in their hands while they're carrying her, so it's yad chavriseha. So we figured out a case to make it work. That it should be, okay. The Gemara says, 1 second. Bahashta, the Amar Rabbi Yochanan has a chiddush. He says, Safik Tama Babi the Adam Nishalam Allah, Afila Bekeli Munachal Gabi Karka, Kmishish Vidas Lishal. Rabbi Yochanan said, we said there needs to be human involvement here for it to be It needs to be human involvement. We were saying that the human involvement needs to be the recipient of the tumah. We said that the bed, of course there's a human involvement, there's a woman here, but she's the giver of the tumah. What about the recipient of the tumah? So we were saying that the recipient also needs to be human. And so what do we do for a bed? How does the bed human? We said, because there's people that are holding the bed. According to Rabbi Yochanan, he adds that you don't need the recipient to be human. You only need the giver to be human. So then automatically the whole thing is, all our problems fall off. I mean, there's a woman here that's tamei, and she's yesh b'das l'shal, and then everything. You don't need to have her friends carrying in a bed, because the giver of the tumah, the one that's transmitting the tumah, is a human, is a person, and you can ask the person. So therefore, it have the halachas of Rosh Hashanah, Sveiki Tamei, and we'll have the suffix of Me'esleis, retroactive tumah. We don't know when it came. It could be it came within the last 24 hours, even though we found it now and all of that.
Basically, they found the problem and now they're trying to make it fit.
Right.
They have two solutions today. Trump is guilty. Now let's find the problem.
The first shot, around and circle around.
Someone said, Yeshiva Bacher said, I just figured out the great teretz. Now I have to find the kasha. Okay, Gufa. Was taught. Amar Rabbi Yochanan Safik Tumah Hababi the Adam Nishalam Allah Fila Bekele Menachal Gabi Karki Kmishi Yesh B'das Lishal. Rabbi Yochanan says that doubtful tumah that was transmitted through human intervention, you can ask it, and so therefore, even if the recipient is sitting on the ground, it doesn't matter. In other words, if the recipient is not being held in the hands of a human, it's still considered tamei. It's considered yesh b'das l'shal, that you can ask it, and therefore in Rosh Hashanah, in a private domain, it's considered tamei. Meisavei, the Gemara has a question. If someone is putting on his talis, this used to happen to me a lot when I was a kid. I used to hate standing behind adults putting on their talis. You get whipped in the face, and they don't see you, and all of that. So, v'taharas etzmeis b'tzidei, and there's tumah and tara on the side. It could be the person's tamei. There's things on the side. Now he's putting on his talis. By the way, it doesn't have to be mamash a talis. The talis could be in any garment. We call it any garment. And v'taris v'tumah is l'mayla mirashi, and there's also things that are tahar and things that are tamei above his head. Safik naga, safik lei naga. We don't know if he touched those with his talis, because when he was going out, we don't know what it touched. It says tahar. It's tahar even in a private domain, even in Rosh Hashanah. Normally, safik if it touches Rosh Hashanah is tamei. However, that's only if you can ask it. But Rabbi Yochanan says, what do you need to ask? The recipient of the tumah or the transmitter of the tumah? Rabbi Yochanan said the transmitter. So, it's a kasha on Rabbi Yochanan. Let's go further in the brisa. This is just, we finished this brisa. It's a tesefta. It says, but if it's impossible for him to have put that on without touching, then of course it's going to be tamei. Reb Shimon ben Gamliel actually the Tosefta actually has Reb Daisa, whatever. There's another opinion here that says, Aimrim Leishana. They tell him, do it again, repeat it, and let's see if you touch. It's like a scientific experiment. You do it again, we'll see what happens. If it touches this time, then we'll assume it touched that time, even though it doesn't matter anymore because you're going to touch it the second time. Okay, V'shayna, and then he does it again. So Amrullah Yein Shayna B'taris. They told him, we don't do that. B'taris. We don't
try to make something.
Yeah, you're going to mess up. You don't do it again. That's not the. It's like they used to say, if you walk over a baby, you have to walk back. So others said, no, don't do it again. You made the first mistake. So. Okay. I'm sorry? They carry them. So the Gemara says, Amai, why should it be a tahar? Hasafik to mababi the adamu. According to Rabbi Yochanan, this is Safek Tumah that's coming through human intervention, human involvement, and so it should be immediately Tameh. Gemara answers, Bar minei dahahi. Bar minei means take that out. Or that should, how do they translate it? Leave that out. Leave that out. That means scratch that. The Tani Rabbi taught it different. He taught this brisa with a different ending. He taught it that it's Tani. There's that brisa, yes, you got the story right, but you got the ending wrong. And so just take that as not a question on us. It's inaccurate. Gufa. Gufa is when we re-quote a statement of an Amayra. It's like an Amar Mar for a Brisa, for a Mishnah. Gufa, that's where we came up with that theory when we were learning. We've been testing it the whole time. So far, it's pretty accurate. Amar Ze'iri. Ze'iri's taught, Me'eslei shebenida, Eisa mishkav u'meishav l'tam yadam l'tam yabegad. This retroactive tumah, she finds tumah right now, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Goes back till 24 hours ago, 3 o'clock to yesterday afternoon. All of that and everything that she touched in the interim is tummy. That retroactive tumah, even though she doesn't know that she's tummy back then, that retroactive tumah, not only does it make all the grain that she touched, but it also, if there was a bed that she sat on, that bed has the chumras of making a person tummy to make his clothing tummy. Eily, is it really so? Eily, they used to touch it. Because Ein